Hey guys, how you doing? I just thought I'd do a little video after traveling back to New Zealand over the Christmas holidays and doing a bit of training with them over there. No training taking place today, it's pouring rain and the gym's closed, so it's an opportunity for me to kind of reflect on some of the conversations that I've had over the last few months with guys, particularly I guess in their 40s and 50s, and the benefit that they find with doing jiu-jitsu and why it's so important for them. And over the Christmas holiday break here, I think it becomes even more evident how important it is for guys to have that community that they can go to and have some banter with, and even like the act of wrestling. Everyone jokes about how gay jiu-jitsu is because of the physical contact and stuff like that, but I think that, jokes aside, I think that men really struggle with intimacy, and I think that jiu-jitsu breaks down a lot of the barriers that guys usually have about communication and physical contact and comfort and closeness and all these sorts of things that can be quite challenging for a lot of guys, but inevitably are incredibly rewarding. And I'm very open about all the struggles that I went through, physically and mentally, recovering from my back injury in like 2014 onwards. It was really serious. I was on 14 or 15 different pills a day, painkillers, antidepressants, everything you can imagine. Got suicidal because of all of it. It was incredible. So I'm very open about the benefits and of being on the mat with guys and being able to train and have that positive community, because for the longest time, the way that guys have socialized is by going to the pub. They have to be getting drunk in order to be able to open up and have some fun and talk about stuff. And even then, they don't even really talk about things. They kind of just brush over it. And I've had a number of guys in their 40s come up to me the last few months, and just, I guess because I'm kind of open, they kind of come up and just spill the beans about how difficult it is, like not being able to train, whether it's because of an injury. It's very rare that I stop because of an injury anyway. I just modify my training. But guys over Christmas were coming up saying how difficult it was for them when the gym was shut, not being able to train. And I said that, because of all my studies and stuff like this and what I found out, either by talking to psychologists or figuring it out myself and reading a lot, is that probably the most important thing for guys is our sense of productivity, that we're accomplishing something, that we've been productive. And a lot of our self-worth is drawn from that. So if we're not able to go to work and if we're not able to train, then if we've got too much free time on our hands, then we almost don't know what to do with it, and you're not getting the same endorphin and dopamine releases that you do from your training. You might be having a couple of sneaky beers, which kind of is it is a depressant, and the combination of like lower dopamine levels and less endorphins, and then the lack of community, the lack of productivity, and then the depression caused by the alcohol is not a very good combination, and a lot of guys struggle. So that's why gyms, for the most part, jiu-jitsu academies, a lot of them have like sneaky open mats all the way through the holidays, because the guys themselves, whether they're the gym owners or whether they're just higher grades there, they all realize how important it is for the guys to keep training, and they want to. When people get free time, they want to do more training if they're not going away with their family. And even if they do go away with their family, they take their gear and they hope that there's an academy there for them to be able to train at, meet some new people and stuff like that. So certainly don't underestimate the effect that not being at work and not being able to train has on the male population. So it's very, very challenging as a guy entering jiu-jitsu. I was I was a very accomplished martial artist going into jiu-jitsu. I found it incredibly challenging. The number of times I nearly cried on the mat, you know, in really, really long rolls, like over 30 minutes, and I'm stuck under some guy and I can't breathe, and I'm, you know, it's not comfortable. So I've not lost sight of what it's like to be a beginner, you know, to experience those struggles and how difficult it can be sometimes. I think especially as a guy, you know, I mean, I speak to a lot of women about their experiences training early on, and they for the most part walk through the doors expecting to be terrible, expecting it to be challenging, and their expectations for the most part are kind of on point. Whereas I think a lot of guys walk through the door and they might not say it, but in the back of their head they're like, I'll be fine, you know, I could take these guys in a real fight, you know, and really it's just covering up your insecurity and stuff like that. But pretty quickly you realize that you know, like, you're way out of your depth, you really don't know how to fight, and you really aren't in control of your body if somebody who does jiu-jitsu grabs you. And it's very, very confronting, incredibly confronting, but there's so much growth to be had. And so once you get through that initial phase of the first 6 months, then, like, it's not plain sailing. It's always going to be challenging. There's always more and more to do and more to learn and things like that. And it's not just a pleasant trajectory towards your black belt. You know, like, there's plateaus and ups and downs and all sorts of stuff that you have to learn to deal with. Anyway, I'll leave it at that because I try not to make the videos too long. I could talk forever. But for all the guys out there, make sure that you're ticking off things each day. Write down a little checklist of things that you want to get done. Yeah, whether it's mowing the lawn, whether it's going for a run, whether it's doing some push-ups, whether it's going and seeing your friends. Like, make a little checklist, cross it off throughout the day as you accomplish those things, and that's going to give you a sense of productivity and seeing that you've accomplished something that day. Have a great Christmas. I hope everyone had a safe New Year's Eve last night, and here's to another great year of training in 2024. See you guys. Bye.